Labor has secured an historic 7th term in the ACT, but the final makeup of its government remains in doubt. Political reporter Cameron Redden is live from Labor headquarters. Cam, it took them a bit longer than it has in the past, but Labor has been locked in for another 4 years.
Certainly has, Rhiannon, and the party's in full swing here in Belconnen in Canberra's north. You can see the Chief Minister behind me taking photos, plenty of happy snaps. There was a chant of 4 more years, 4 more beers going around the room about 5 minutes ago. So we'll see how many deep he gets in the next few hours. But it is a victory tonight for the Labor Party, an historic one. It secures another 4-year term, which will extend Labor's term in power here to 27 years. It really is an historic feat, not seen since the days of Joh Bjelke-Petersen in Queensland. We can show you how they got there. Look at the primary vote as it stands right now. It wasn't a comfortable win for Labor tonight. It's managed to hold most of its 10 seats, but the Greens vote has fallen dramatically. You can see the Independents vote coming in at over 8% already, the Liberal Party rising as well, and that's really what has impacted the balance of what will ultimately be another minority government. It's been more than 20 years since Labor, Canberra and the ACT last had a majority government. If you look at the state of play as it currently stands, Labor's set to hold all of its 10 seats it started the night with. The Liberals are currently on 8 but will grow that number. The Greens began with 6. They're currently only locked in for 2. The expectation is that their tally will halve to 3 in all, but it's enough to secure that magic number of 13 in a minority government with Labor to return to the government benches. I spoke a short time ago to Andrew Barr as he made his victory speech here in Canberra. He's now meeting with locals, but he told me that he's optimistic. He said it was a tough campaign. I also asked him whether he decides now or later on whether he wants to go a full 4-year term. I caught up with the Chief Minister, newly re-elected a short time ago.
Look, we've worked incredibly hard. You don't win elections by cruising through. We've had our candidates out in the field all year, hundreds of thousands of conversations. And I think if you have the right candidates, good policy and effective campaigning, you're a chance in any election.
Was this the toughest of the election campaigns you fought? It took a little bit longer tonight to lock it in than some in this room might have thought.
Oh, look, yes. I think the honest answer, it's the longer you are in office, the harder it is. But again, you go back to those fundamentals of politics and campaigning. You need to seek to represent the community. You need to make sure that your policies are aligned with not only your voting base, but would appeal to people who might preference you or cast a vote in your favour. And we did a lot of work on that, a lot of listening, and that's I think part of putting forward a platform for election.
We've seen the independents broadly poll at more than 8% tonight, particularly the Independents for Canberra movement. What do you put that down to? Is it the POCOT factor? Is it that they're branding themselves as community independents? What do you put that rise in their vote up to or down to? Probably
a combination of the two factors that you've outlined, together with a lot of hard work on their part. Like going around the city, I think I've been to nearly every suburb, every electorate multiple times over the course of the year. And a more consistent presence were the Independents for Canberra and Fiona Carrick, perhaps than the Greens on the ground campaigning. And I think the result of that work is reflected in their results tonight.
Just finally, will you serve a full term? Will you go the full 4?
That's certainly the plan. I'm only 51, so look, in politics, a lot of things can happen, obviously, but look, subject to continuing good health and the support of colleagues and the crossbench, then yes, I'd intend to continue.
And maybe a few more of those tonight.
1 or 2, but within reason. Yeah.
I heard the crowd chanting 4 more beers before.
I'm not sure I'll add 4 more on this one, but certainly I'm going to enjoy this tonight.
Chief Minister, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Very much. Cheers.
So 4 more years, but maybe not 4 more beers for the Chief Minister tonight. We'll see how it goes. The Prime Minister putting this congratulations on social media a short time ago. It means he'll continue to work with Andrew Barr. He has done for some years now. Andrew Barr extending his tenure too. He's been the Chief Minister in the ACT for a decade. There was some suggestion in the room earlier tonight that he might have a decision to make. After a decade, would he continue to serve the full 4 years? Indicated that he's likely to do so there. For the other side of the coin, the Liberals have come close, but it's no cigar once again. They'll be in opposition once the next election rolls around for 27 years. It's not a number that the leader, Elizabeth Lee, is proud of. There was a period of time tonight where the Liberals thought they were in with a sniff. They were polling ahead of Labor on primary vote for much of the evening until the on-the-day vote ultimately pushed the Greens a little bit higher and this Labor government back over the line. Elizabeth Lee addressed the crowd just up the road from here a short time ago. She hasn't yet made up her mind whether she will remain the opposition leader beyond tonight.
Friends, I won't sugarcoat this because whilst we have had a few wins, it is not the ultimate win that we were looking for. And 27 years in opposition is not something that any political party seeks or wants on their record. There is a whole generation of Canberrans that have never known life in Canberra aside from under a Labor government. Now, I do not know what the future holds for me. Don't ask. I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to be making any rash decisions.
So the Chief Minister, Andrew Barr, Rhiannon, doing his victory lap here. There he is, shaking hands. I think he's still on his first beer at last count, and a few hugs to go around the room as well. You can't understate how historic this night is for Labor particularly, but for the ACT wing as well. 23 years in power, securing another 4 tonight. The lights have just gone off, so I don't know if someone forgot to pay the bill, but the party continues here in Belconnen anyway. Everyone...
Yeah. Indeed, Cam, a big day.
The bar has got a bit longer.
All right, well, a big day for Labor in Canberra. Cam, thanks so much.